The 10th of May, 2019. Where were you? At what stage of your life were you in? But more specifically, where were you when you got that damn notification that Tati Westbrook had uploaded a video titled Bye Sister? And I'm asking this genuinely. Leave it in the comments. Where were you? When did you find out? What were your first feelings? I want to know. Because in today's video, this is the first episode in kind of a new series that I'm starting on the channel called The Origins of Drama, or something like that. The origins of whoever's drama. And I thought, because since I've started doing more drama commentary on this channel over the past couple of months, I've thought to myself, I have to do a Dramageddon recap at some point. I just feel like it's like it's like the introduction ritual into drama commentary is going back over those masterpieces of drama. And Dramageddon 2 is, in my opinion, a lot better than Dramageddon 1 in terms of the twists and the turns and the way that it kept us all captivated, okay? Because Dramageddon 1 was cute, and we will go over that at some point. But Dramageddon 2 was where it was at, okay? And I just feel like, since we've just recently had Old Spirit Airlines, James Toll's drama, he uploaded yet another apology video, which was just as bad as the rest of them. And I just thought, because we've had that, what better way to kick off this new series by recapping, in my opinion, what started it all? Well, it was what started it all. It was the origins of James Charles's drama. And that was Bye Sister. Now, where was I at that point, okay? I was 18 years old. I was studying for my A-levels. I think I'd started my A-levels, which are like an exam in the UK. It's a bit like the LSATs, I think, in America, where it's like the exam you do to get into university. It's like your qualifications to go to university. So I was studying for that at the time, okay? And I remember getting the notification on my phone, specifically. I can't even really remember where specifically I was. I think I was like coming home from sixth form, or whether I was actually at sixth form. But I came home and I popped open that laptop, okay, which I still have actually. It's my old Windows laptop that's propping up my now 2 MacBooks that I have now, my old one and then the one I'm filming on. But I propped that up. I got onto YouTube. And it was the first video I watched. The way I was locked in, like I know a lot of us were. 43 minutes of pure, quotable, just it was a masterpiece. And I hope you have your quotation cards ready, okay? Whether or up here, okay? Because I know we do. This video is ingrained into our brains the moment we watched it, and the amount of times it's been quoted since then. It's a key piece, it's a core piece of lore. It just is, okay? And again, I just thought this was the perfect way to kick off this series by revisiting this video. So like I say, I hope you're ready. Get those quotes on lock, okay? Because we are about to revisit a now 7-year old part of drama history. Isn't that crazy? 2019, 7 years ago. Insane. Obviously, as we know, Tati Westbrook did delete this video a while ago. But there's this re-upload, okay? And I'm sure there are other re-uploads on the internet as well. And also, I just want to point out, if I can move myself out of the way for it. Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait a minute. If I could just move myself out of the way for a second. The first video up here is PewDiePie reacting to all of this, which I don't know if I will react to, because I forgot that he actually made videos on Dramageddon. But we maybe will cover that, because I remember at the time that being so hilarious to me, that PewDiePie, somebody who I was watching quite regularly anyway for gaming content at the time, he was still doing like, he was the gaming and the meme kind of era, but I was still watching him at the time, and the fact that he was covering this being beauty drama content was insane. But without any further ado, let's get into this. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, actually let's go back to the chatting setting for a second, because of course this is the origins of drama, so we've got to do a tiny bit of context for those of you who do not remember how we got here. I mean, I know we all do, but it's fun to just recap, isn't it? This all started because James Charles was almost like a student of Tati Westbrook. She was kind of his mentor when he was first coming up. He was like 17. He was first coming up into the beauty industry on YouTube and everything. We all remember the Flashback Mary era, the CoverGirl era, the fake school pictures era that went on Ellen. Do you remember that? The block brows. It was a time in our lives, okay? And he even did her wedding makeup, which to me is the most painful part of this. I think, I think for Tati, like, you can't look at any photos or even like the video from the wedding without thinking about James Charles, because he literally did the makeup for it. It aged like milk, and it's a shame, because obviously that's meant to be the happiest day of your life, and she is in a happy marriage, as we know. But the fact that James Charles is so involved in that, it taints the memory a little bit. I feel bad for her on that front. But then he went to Coachella with Sugar Bear Hair, and of course we covered that now she's got this weird energy drink product now, which I thought was a supplement at first. It's not, it's an energy drink, but we did a video about how everything's like AI slop. If you missed that, go watch that video. But of course she had Halo Beauty at the time, and Sugar Bear Hair was like the biggest competitor in that space. You don't really hear a lot about them anymore. Where is Sugar Bear Hair? Are they still a thing? But he went to Coachella with them because he needed the security, apparently, which I still don't believe. Okay, a lot of people will come to Tati's, come to attack Tati and be like, she was bitter about this, she shouldn't have been that, but considering everything that came afterwards, I still think she was right for this video. But let me know your thoughts in the comments as we go through this. But anyway, context done. That was the origins of how we got here, and let's lock in for Bye Sister. Let's do this. I've not actually watched this video, I think, in quite a few years, so this is gonna be fun.
James is here to do my bridal makeup, which is what I am wearing right now. I just wanted to congratulate you on almost 1 million on Instagram. I want to say huge congratulations to James Charles. If you have not checked his channel out on YouTube and you want to be inspired.
That is such an OG era of her channel when she was filming in the bathroom. I've been a long fan of Tati as well. I remember pretty much every single era since about 2014 or something like that. Maybe like 2015. This era was so iconic.
Inspired. He's a freaking teenager and he's like a genius with makeup. James Charles is the face of their holiday collection, and I saw him do a really cool look, and it just made me want to try this palette. We are going to be taking a first look at the new Morphe palette.
Not that damn Morphe palette. That got so many issues. Of course, that was like a bit later on with like him getting cancelled by Morphe, but then of course Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star getting cancelled by Morphe and everything, which I believe was the downfall of the brand. And I wish that she would do colourful makeup like this again, because she looks so much better doing this than like the clean girl stuff. Or she kind of matched her pop socket she's got here as well, which is kind of fun. But this era of her makeup was so much better than what she's doing now, and that is just the tea.
Hello.
So beautiful. I'm so scared.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Like it?
It looks so gorgeous. Do you like it?
I love it. Sorry, James, I'm on to another Morphe palette, but you guys can still use code James for 10% off this one. I'm the friend that's encouraging you guys to use code James for 10% off of saving. You can use anybody's code. Use, James's code. I'm wearing.
Okay, I take that back with the bold lip. That was not a good choice for her, but anyway. Oh, and the merch, Jesus.
My sister's apparel.
In the grand scheme of it all, like, you have to really check in with yourself and really think about, like, is this really like a thing? Because if not, you're going to be sitting on the internet crying over vitamins when things are really going on around the world. But I'm not one to tell you how to feel, but like vitamins.
So if you're going to go on the internet and cry and heavily imply that there's a horrible human being and everybody can get what it is, girl, sit on the internet and talk about it then.
Girl, sit on the internet and talk about it then. That is the first big quote of this video, the first of many.
Hey you guys, welcome to today's video. Obviously from the title you know that this is going to be intense, different, and this is absolutely not a video I ever thought in a million years that I would be making, but I feel after a lot of thought that it's necessary for me to have a chat with you guys. I feel when you put aspects of your life out online that at some point you are going to have to address them if you make a radical shift. So a lot of you guys saw my Instagram story. There have been countless videos made about it. For me, what happened when I posted the video that now has gone very widespread, I was sitting here in the studio, I didn't have makeup on,
Also, can we just acknowledge the background with all the Jeffree Star little lipsticks? It was those display cases that he used to do. And also, like, those, like, colourful bottles of, I think, like, makeup remover, like, skincare she has over there. They were really iconic at the time. What were they? Were they, like... They weren't made by Mario, because that wasn't... It was Mario Badescu. That was it. I remember. Weren't they, like, setting sprays or something? Am I remembering this wrong? I don't know. Also, that weird, like, PR package she has back there. Is that James's? I can't remember. But yeah, I just noticed the Jeffree Star little thing around that. And listen, we know the lore. We know how deep that goes. But also, she looks tea as hell. Adam McIntyre said this whenever he covers this or mentions this video. Like, she looked tea as hell. I honestly... Top was so flattering on her. The makeup was stunning. She looked tan as hell. The makeup is killing it. Like, the hair, sorry, this is killing it. Like, she looked incredible.
I was ready to film a makeup try-on, and I received a text from James Charles. I was completely blindsided, and my emotions just got the best of me. I never jumped straight to social, but I was just, like, so gutted. And I made that 2-minute little Insta story. It was therapeutic for me. I don't regret it. What I said in that video basically was that I feel really lost in this community, and that's so true. And it is more than...
What if I never noticed she's had her knee up this whole time? I think this is a dress. She's wearing a dress, because I always thought it was just like her normal, like, top and jeans kind of combo, but she's wearing a dress. I didn't realize she's got a little knee up on there to be, like, all chill, to be like, I'm gonna spill the tea on James Charles. I love this video so much.
Than one thing, and it wasn't specifically just about vitamins or about Halo, but it was just about being lied to and feeling disrespected. And, you know, James Charles, he had 9 days after Coachella to talk to me. He knows where I live. It's not far from him. He could have come face to face and chatted with me because he knew that this would hurt me. We've had plenty of in-person conversations that were at length about other influencers doing the same deal and him not liking Sugar Bear hair and dragging the other people and being like, Tati, I'm on your side. Like, you've got me. Like, I will support you. Yes, mom. Like, you've got my loyalty.
How have I never... This is going to happen quite a lot. There's going to be elements of this video that I have never noticed before until watching them with adult eyes. But the way she just said, yes, mom, is crazy. Crazy. Yes, mom. Girl. And we know that James Charles' parents are, like, actually very supportive of him. They're equally as delusional in my eyes, because, I mean, she goes on to say in this video, like, they should be helping him here, but they aren't. You know, like, there's the iconic video, the iconic part of this video that's coming up. But, wow. Yes, mom.
So I always felt really comfortable with that. And I, of course, to not even get a phone call, to not even get a text a few days prior, but right after that sponsored post went up, to have a text like, hey mom, love you, I'm stressed. Just so you know, XYZ, I just did this post, but it's...
Again, hey mom, I'm stressed. What?
It's no big. And that's pretty typical of James Charles's behavior from the time that I met him when he was 17, before he really had taken off on YouTube at all. I know that he has a way of just getting what he wants. And I've always blamed it on his age. I've been like, oh, he'll grow up. Like, it's fine. He'll grow up. Like, there's something about him that I just adore and love, and he'll grow out of this and he'll mature, and I want to be someone that can give him solid advice, and there's something in my heart that is pulled to him, and I love him, and I am there for this kid through and through. And
I will say, because I know people have criticized her for being, like, very on him, like, very, like, the way she talks about him is a bit weird. I have never noticed this before with like clips that I've watched in this video like over the years, but watching this video back, I'm like, yeah, that's very strange. Obviously, we know she's been like, she went through a fertility journey. Not that this is really anything to do with this, but she was going through a fertility journey. She was really maternal. She wanted kids. She's never ended up having kids because of the fertility journey she's been on, and with the stress of actually what happened in 2020, her interrupting that, and you know, she's getting older. I think she's kind of just accepted this isn't something that's happening for me now. And James did have a son. James did have a kid. He was like a teenager around this time. Do you remember he used to appear in a couple of her videos? That was really fun. I don't know what happened to him. Does anybody know? Leave it in the comments. But maybe she was projecting a little bit onto James Charles, the want to have a kid and want to be a mom. Like, maybe she was projecting a little bit, but that's just my thoughts.
And I really have been, and there's so much that you guys don't know. And I'm gonna share a lot of it with you because I feel at this point that I have to, because Gabriel Zamora decided to drag me out on the dance floor by calling me out by name in a video that he made about opinions and makeup. I wanna say that I don't know Gabriel Zamora. We've never had any beef, but we are not friends. Majority of the time that I've spent with Gabriel Zamora was in James Charles's kitchen, which was not too long ago. Before that, I'd maybe give him a hug. Hi, how are you? At like a couple of events maybe throughout the years, but we aren't friends. We don't hang out. I don't have his phone number. We don't chat, DM, talk, none of that. There's no relationship. So he does not know me at all. And I really have to feel from what I've witnessed in the past of how stuff kind of goes down as far as like really ripping into a situation and giving your, your 2 cents. This is typical behavior if you go and hang out with a group of influencers. Yes, it's about makeup. Yes, sometimes business. Yes, sometimes jokes. But a lot of the time, it's whatever's brewing or happening or someone going through something and just like everybody kind of giving their little bit of it to the point that the whole story changes. And I just couldn't help but feel that that's what happened because everybody was hanging out behind closed doors. I know that James Charles was very, very upset and obviously venting to his friends, which in turn, for whatever reason, made Gabriel Zamora feel empowered enough to call me out by name. It really minimized my feelings. It's a horrible thing to tell a person like, hey, it's sunshiny outside, don't feel bad about whatever you're going through. And I always like to tell people pain is pain. And yeah, at some point you have to feel it, express it, release it, and then set it down and move ahead because life will never stop being painful no matter where in the world you are, no matter what your circumstances. You are always going to experience heartbreak, and that's part of being human. For me, I always like to say that just because the person next to you is in a full body cast doesn't mean that your broken arm doesn't hurt. Pain is pain. Feel it. Let it go the way you do, process things the way you do, but that's private and that's your business and no one has any to tell you how to feel.
Okay. I agree with that sentiment. She's speaking the truth there. She is speaking the truth all day long.
So that was so not right on so many levels. But even that, like I was in North Carolina with my sisters. I saw that snap. Everybody's, tweeting me and I'm like, I still gotta let this go. Like, I just gotta let this go. But then with the video, I'm like, okay.
Not Twitter. Do you guys remember when she left Twitter and then she was coming back with those like really vague things? What was it in 2020, like right before she uploaded the Breaking My Silence video, and she was coming back with all like was it like the butterfly stuff? Wasn't it like all dead vague, like some Bible quotes I swear were in there as well, but that was like all on Twitter, and then she came back to YouTube. You guys remember that? This is such an era.
We're getting a little bit rough and wild right now, and I feel like behind the scenes, my name is being dragged and my reputation and my character. I need to speak on a few things that I feel would have been better handled privately, but we're public. And just like Gabriel said in his video, like I started this public, bad on me. I am an influencer, creator, whatever we want to call it. I do live a portion of my life online. So what you guys saw in that IG story, that happens to so many of us. Like we let our emotions lead because we're creatives and you have access to this piece of technology that allows you to express, so widely and so quickly. I'm a really, really big believer.
One thing I say for this video throughout, she's very articulate. The way she's wording things is, I'm sorry for that freeze frame, Jesus, but like, the way she's expressing things and the way she talks about these situations is very articulate. It's very well said. And I think that's what makes the iconic quotes that are about to come in this video like even more funny in a way, and even more iconic and rememberable, because, well, the word is memorable, not rememberable. That's not a word, but see, she's more articulate than me. But like, just overall, the way she presented this video was so well done, despite who might have been behind it. Then we'll cover that, but this video was so well done.
And hitting the pause button, thinking things through. In that moment, I didn't. So here we are, and I'm gonna talk about it all. Obviously, so many of you guys understand that this is more than just a sponsored post. It has layers. There's so much going on with James Charles right now that I do not support, that I do not agree with. Fame, power, and a fat bank account will change almost anyone.
Fame, power, and a fat bank account will change. That's one of like the minor quotes, but, and we've seen this with the Spirit Airlines situation. We have seen this play out time and time again over the years. This was just the beginning of it. Like I said, that this was the origin story. So let's continue.
And if you don't have people that will tell you to your face that you're doing the wrong things, you will change. And I tried to be that person for you, James. I really tried. I don't think there's any getting through to you, and I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to be associated with you. And I need to say that very publicly so that this chapter can just be closed. So,
oh girl, you had no idea. This is so the chapter can just be closed and we don't have to talk about it anymore, girl. You sweet summer child. You sweet summer child.
I want to share with you guys really quickly why I'm being so public about this, because I know the first thing a lot of people will say is, hey, why didn't you pick up the phone? Why didn't you message him back? Like, you guys should have handled this privately. And I absolutely agree. The moment that everything kicked off, he started panicking. He was texting me, and then it got increasingly demanding. And I don't deal well with someone telling me that I need to accept an apology.
Because that's a narcissistic, that's a narcissist. Do I think that maybe throughout the situation she showed a few little narc tendencies? Maybe, occasionally. But when James Charles is such an raging, outright narcissist, it's so glaringly obvious, and he's always been like this. I think he was spoiled as a kid, personally. But that has then trickled into, because he got into the influencer culture and because he is who he is and how he is, that we just ended up in this space. But the way she was like, he got very demanding, he got very aggressive, I'm like, yeah, because he's a narc. Massive narc.
On their terms to fix their problems. So when you cannot even say, I'm so sorry, I knew this was going to hurt you, I hate seeing you cry, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're feeling this upset, like, I didn't think that you'd be this upset. When you can't have any emotion for the other person who loves you so much, and all you're caring about is your image, and that people are questioning if it's you, and people are commenting, and that's what you're worried about, I'm not okay with that, and I need to like take a time out. I knew that I needed to talk to James, and I was planning on hopping in my car and, you know, sitting down with him, but I changed my mind very, very quickly when
because she was being talked to by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, but wait.
I found out that he had been giving his side to drama channels. He had been in contact with plenty of them. I immediately knew that this was all.
But then in a later video and with the Shane Dawson, you message drama channels. But yeah. So it went both ways, didn't it? But yeah, he was DMing all the drama channels.
All about damage control and had little to do with his care for me, because I just don't think that he does. If that's the playing field that we're on and I have to go there, just know my receipts are like stacked thick. To be in full disclosure, I have spoken with 2 drama channels that reached out, and one of them is Here for the Tea, the other is Tea Spill. They're both making videos.
Both of which are great, especially Tea Spill. I remember watching her videos. That this was back before she fully like even said anything on her channel. This was pre like voiceover as well, I think. and such an iconic drama channel. And here for the tea, I've watched sometimes, but I'm more of like a Rich Lux and Tea Spill cat type person back in the day, and then I think I started to watch like Nick Schneider around that time as well.
I needed to share a little bit of where I was coming from, and even in those messages, like the first thing that I say is like, I'm crushed because this person was family to me. This person is someone that I absolutely loved, cared for, and would have spent all the time in the world protecting. But he's just too far gone at this point, and the behavior that I don't think I can even talk about, like the DMs that I'm getting and the things that I'm hearing are so gross.
Now, part of this would probably be what Jeffree Star was telling her about all the voice notes and everything, but also she does talk about a lot of the things that she was getting about, and there's a lot of where the iconic quotes come from, and we'll get to that in a minute.
That I don't think that I can protect that, and I don't think I can help that, and I have to let this go, you know, like I have to let this go. So there's the full disclosure, you know, I don't have a camp of people that I'm like, okay, let's like work on this angle and like, how can we do this and how can we do that? This is not strategy to me. This is me having someone that I mentored, someone that I cared for, really not care for me and exhibit that. There was speculation when Shane Dawson came over to hang out with me, who I adore. I don't know terribly well. We've been talking for a couple
of Snapchat filters, and just Shane Dawson in any of these people's homes is such a time capsule. It's insane.
Of months. The day that he came over, where we were just playing with makeup, like that had been planned for a very long time. We had been talking. That date had been set before all of this kicked up. And I just, like, I can't help but think that James Charles felt like that was somehow like some sneaky thing that happened, because his ego is so big that he will think that everything is about him. So that visit had nothing to do with me sneaking around and like really manipulating the situation at all, just to get that straight. I think it's important for you guys to know a little bit of the history that I have with James Charles. He contacted me through my DMs, you know, when he was first starting out. He was 17. He was wide-eyed and ready to make it on Instagram and social media. And, you know, he kind of had his YouTube channel going, but not really. And, you know, the first response I gave him was like, keep up the good work or something like that. And then he came back, and he just has a way of saying the most gorgeous things that make you feel so special. So he always told me that I was the reason that he wanted to get into makeup, and I was the reason that he was inspired to start.
Even at 17, he was love bombing people, which is insane. At 17, he was love bombing people. Now, there is something to be said about a 40, or like almost 40-year-old at this point. I think she was like 38 or something around this time. Something about like a 38-year-old woman getting love bombed by a 17-year-old. There's something there to be said, but, you know, I think we can all say it ourselves. But like at the same time, she went on to mentor this person. So, you know, maybe she felt like, okay, like she looked at his content and was like, okay, maybe there's some potential here. Maybe I can, you know, be the good Samaritan because this person's been so nice. There are different angles to this. Whichever one you want to take is up to you.
Start his channel, and that my channel was one of his favorites, and he just loved watching me. And it was just nice to hear, to be honest. I was like, wow, like this kid, like really, like I'm like the grown-up inspiration, like this, cool, like how can I help you? There's a huge age gap between me and James Charles, and it's so funny because back in the beginning, my husband was like, you know, you're not best friends with him, like he's a kid. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, but he's really like looking.
Shout out to James Westbrook. I think is that it? Is that his last name? I can't remember. But like, shout out to her husband James, for actually being the grounding voice here and being the voice of common sense here, to be like, you know, he's 17, right? Like, don't get too attached. You know, we applaud that. Oh, wait.
For some help, some guidance. I made the choice that I was going to help him. Like, a lot of people online were crapping all over him back in the day. He had drama with Nikita Dragon. You know, I've never screwed him over. I've never publicly humiliated him. I've never done.
Nikita Dragon is such a time capsule name as well. She went to jail Didn't she? She came out with a beauty line. She did all that back in like 2018, and then she had like this big like Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears style like crash out, and then went to jail, and I think is out of jail now, but like I don't really know, okay, because she's not on social media anymore. But that is such a, those names obviously more associated with Dramageddon 1, but like were so like iconic. It's these people that back in 2019, like they were so like we knew who they were like so well, but now it's like, where are they? Same with Gabriel Zamora, really.
And any of that, and a lot of people who are buddy with him right now have not always had his best interest. They didn't want him to succeed. They saw this new kid coming up and they're like, no, this is not going to happen. And I was constantly like, you're talented. You've got this. Keep going.
Stop. Wait, we have to read these. Okay. I feel that. Yeah, I'm saying that your Insta is hella inspiring and reminds me that I still have an artist inside. Oh my God. Anyway, you're amazing. Off to film more. Good luck. Love you. Okay, so that was Tati. So this was Tati saying that James was really inspiring her to do more colourful makeup, and oh my God, look, I think that's a screenshot of his Instagram. God, the way Instagram used to look, that's such a crazy throwback with the green bloody thingy, the follow button. As of right now, thank God, praise Jesus, literally. Don't ever let any of this get to you for more than a minute. People are insecure. Wait, okay, yeah, because she's talking about people trying to talk him down, being like, this guy's never gonna make it, which, to be honest, let's all be for real, we wish that he never made it, because he's been nothing but trouble the entire time.
What do you need?
Yeah.
How can I help you? I had a lot of influence at the time. My channel was much bigger. Come on my channel, do my makeup. We started talking pre-CoverGirl, so we're talking before everything exploded. And I had his back then. I invited him to my wedding. He didn't have money for the flight or hotel.
The hair and the block brows. Oh, it's so terrible. But again, like I was saying in the intro, this is such a it's such a downer on this for her, I bet, that when she thinks about her wedding, because James Charles did her makeup and was there, and it is sad. It's sad.
So I paid for that happily, and he felt a little bit bad about it, and I was like, hey, let's just have fun, and you can do my makeup for my wedding and help me out. It's sad to think that I will never be able to watch my wedding video without seeing his face and thinking of him and thinking about all the things
literally what I just said. And yeah, oh my God, I remember that video. That was when she was testing that Wet n Wild lipstick out. That was really good. I wish they never discontinued that. I really want to get one of those, and there's James with the heavy content, the block brows, the fucking full coverage foundation.
I hoped our relationship would be. I always envisioned that he would grow up. At some point, we'd kind of meet up as friends because he would be an adult. And it is such a unique industry that we're in that it feels really nice when you have someone to connect with through business that really understands the complexity of everything involved in having a YouTube channel, being a creator. I think I sent him a text one time. I was like, I can't wait until all of this is over and we're on a yacht of our own, not on a brand trip, and I think that I'll know you for the rest of my life. I wrapped as much love as I could around this kid, more from a parental stance than a best friend stance. My husband, he ran an agency, he was the VP of motion pictures. He knows the industry through and through. I don't talk about that end of my husband's career too often. He's so gifted with
one thing I will say is that, yeah, she doesn't talk about it too much, but James seems like such a talented and successful individual in his own career and stuff. It is very interesting.
His view of how deals, contracts, business development, he's a master at it, and I love his brilliant mind. He was mentored by Roland Perkins, who was one of the original founders of CAA. He has built businesses and sold them. He is so insanely intelligent. Anytime that James would need help, he'd be like, Dad, what should I do? And he'd come over and he'd be like, I don't like my...
Not mom and dad. When you have parents who support you in your calling the Westbrooks your mom and dad is so weird.
My manager, will you manage me? And James is like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't do that anymore. But your family, how can I help you? My husband would spend hours on the phone looking over contracts, getting him in a better position. So we helped him get into Style Hall back when basically no one wanted to work with him because of his Ebola scandal. And everyone was really afraid that he was very toxic, but
Oh, not the Ebola tweet. I forgot about the damn Ebola tweet. Jesus.
once again, you know, we had his back. They got a boutique management around him. They finally taught him how to monetize his videos. He was making $90 a video, and because of me and my husband, he was making $2,500 immediately from a switch being flipped because his former management did not go in and do that for him. So that's just like a small sample of some of the things that we've done for James Charles. Another thing I have an issue with is James Charles never even apologized to my James. If this was just about Halo, then, you know that this is our business. Apologize to him too, but that's not what this is about. Oh, this is just like really hard to do. Oh my God. Okay. I absolutely loved James Charles. My husband loved James Charles. He had an open door here in my home anytime he had a problem, anytime he needed life advice, business advice. You know, we were here for him. I've promoted him. I've supported him. I've put him in so many videos.
The one in Drag in the middle was James's son, who they did the makeup for. He was really fun when he would come on the videos. It was a fun time. But that damn palette, man.
Time that I hold up a Morphe item, I always say use code James because I wanted him to make it and make enough money to feel like he had the resources to do what he really wanted to do with the creative videos that he always envisioned making. And that's why at the Halo launch, I got so emotional.
If it is creating content that we are all emulating right now, James Charles, you are changing everything.
James Charles, you are changing everything. That's another. I forgot about that damn clip from the Halo. Oh dear Lord, how this aged like milk. But it was aging like milk in this video. This was the point of the video. But it was just like so many things that I like forget about because I haven't watched this video in so long. That damn.
I love you so much.
I was from the pit of my guts so proud. So proud. In Gabriel's video, something that I thought was really offensive was the insinuation that my relationship with James Charles was transactional and that I would be crazy to think that I had an exclusive with him when it came to my vitamins. And for someone that I helped when no one would, asking for absolutely nothing in return, never asking for a payback, never asking for a dime, any of the deals that were structured, if anyone...
To be fair, I believe her on this point, and Gabriel was an absolute bitch to say what he said, and I will stand 10 toes down on that point, okay? Because I believe that she was 100% genuine in this. Yeah, at the beginning of the video it was like, this is a bit weird with the origins of it, and the way she was kind of like love bombed by a 17-year-old James Charles, but like this part I'm like, no, I actually still believe her. Again, 10 toes down.
Ever offered a kickback, we'd say no, put it in James's pocket. Help James. Help him. You know, anytime I had an opportunity to help him make money, I would. If I could give him advice, I did. If he needed a safe landing, I was here. I mean, even to the point of putting myself at risk business-wise, you know, I had him here not too long ago. Like, this was when a lot of scandal was happening in the community, and he came over to my house. It was really, really late at night, and he was super upset, and he's like, I can't sleep. I feel so upset. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. Oh my God, what do I do? And it had to do with his Morphe deal because the percentage they were offering him was not great, to be honest. And at the time, I personally felt that he deserved more. And this is like purely coming from a business perspective because at the time they had dropped Laura and Manny and things were falling apart and there was a separate issue with the vault and that whole thing.
Yeah, because this was Jobageddon 1. Do you guys remember? Because they did, I can't remember how Laura and Manny were involved really. Because I know Laura had that brand for a while, but I don't think that was that at this time? I didn't really follow Laura. Well, I did follow Laura quite closely in 2018, but then with Dramageddon 1, I like dropped her because of that terrible video. And Manny I kind of found insufferable anyway, so when that all kicked off, I was like, that's fine. But the only collab I only really remember him doing was with Jeffree Star. They did that Luna, almost like, obviously before he came out with Luna Beauty, like the sort of Luna, Jeffree Star, they did like a highlighter palette together, didn't they? This was all like 2018 lore, like it feels eons ago now, which it was, because it's like, what, 8 years ago that was? Jesus. But like, that was that, but I don't remember them doing a collab with Morphe. Whether I'm wrong on that, I don't know. Whether they actually had their brands at this point and they were in Morphe stores, that's a part of the lore I don't quite remember. You guys are going to have to educate me in the comments about that.
To the public, it didn't really look great. So James was kind of stressed out about that. He hadn't signed his contract, so I didn't feel like I was interfering with anything, giving him advice. He was worried about things, and I wanted to, of course, wrap him up and like just make him feel good. And I negotiated another deal on the side for him that would have given him $1 million the following week, with a guarantee and with a higher percentage.
Holy, let's just pause it there, because that kind of numbers, and it's the same, we're probably going to cover the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star palette series at some point. And again, I still have my conspiracy palette from 2019, and I am never getting rid of this shit. I don't care if it goes moldy, I'm keeping that. It's in the original box. I'm keeping it forever. This is a time capsule. I'm sitting on that damn Beauty Bay website on the 1st of November 2019, waiting for the website to crash several times so I can finally get my hands on it. I will never forget that. And there's a clip on my channel of a uni vlog where the clip of me doing that is in that video, if you guys want to go on a little treasure hunt for years ago content. But those numbers, like 1 million, like all this stuff, and you know, it said before, like when people cover this, it was such, like, this was peak beauty industry. We never recovered. Like, we're not at that point, and I don't think we will ever get to that point again, at least not for like maybe couple of decades, maybe. I don't know. I don't think we'll get to that point in this decade, at least, because of COVID. What happened basically destroyed the industry, as we know. And again, this was such a peak era of beauty where, yeah, there was massive money in it. And I'm not saying there isn't big money in it now, but not to this level. Absolutely not.
Now, in business, what this does is it gives you leverage so that you can go over to your other deal that you haven't signed yet and feel like you have a backup plan. So maybe you want deal A really, really badly, but you're nervous to ask for more, or nervous to ask for things to be on your terms. You're terrified that if you do, you'll lose deal A, the one that you really, really want. But the psychology of having deal...
Sorry, my brain just went, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Anyway.
B, waiting for you just in case, allows you to have a stronger presence when going in and negotiating. So he had that thanks to me, and thanks to the hours that my husband spent making sure that he had that padding and that, safety net. And
I don't think that's her bragging. A lot of people will say, oh, that's her bragging. That's her saying, well, it's all me. But no, that's genuine. Like, she's emphasizing just how much they helped him and how much of a narcissist he is. And we're about to get onto like you did it at my birthday dinner bit, and I'm so excited for that. You have no idea, because this is where all the quotes come out. But like, they really helped him. But James Charles is where he is today because of the Westbrooks, because of Tati and her husband, and that's just the truth all day long.
And he went and talked to Linda, and he got a higher percentage. So literally millions in his bank account. My relationship with James Charles is not transactional. I have not asked him for a penny. I've never been on his Instagram. We had a mini falling out after the Jaclyn Hill launch party. Everybody was over at my house. We were all talking. Things were said that I cannot...
That damn Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette is the only successful makeup launch she has ever had in her life. The big one the big one, which for those of you, little niche, little bit of lore, do you guys know that video of Chapel Roan talking about how significant blue eyeshadow is and her looks, and she's there with the damn Jaclyn Hill palette open? And we know that thing is old, even back in like what was that video was like 2024 or something like that. To be fair, I was jealous. I wanted that palette because those teal shades in there were tea as hell. Okay. And I'm waiting on Beauty Bay to re-release their Midnight palette, okay, because I want that. That is the one palette I need in my life. Like the teals, the blues, the purples, like the blue purples. What is this? Okay, we're gonna makeup round, but what is it about purple eyeshadows and a lot of makeup palettes that are so like warm toned and almost like maroon burgundy purple versus like actually true blue purple? It's so frustrating. Is that a niche rant? That's a niche rant. But anyway, getting back to this. But yeah, the Jaclyn Hill launch was the only consistent one she's had, because that like Vault thing she did afterwards was so inconsistent. You guys remember? It was dusty as hell. Some people were complaining about it. And then she started her own brand and it was the lipsticks. And oh my God, crazy.
Not unhear at my dining room table. I cannot unhear it. When I confronted him on it, he cried, he apologized. I have so much empathy for people and I really want to see people grow and step into themselves. And I'm more the person to ask like, well, what made you feel that you needed to do XYZ? Like what happened to you? Or like, why do you feel like you need to do that? I'm not perfect, but I have a desire to do better all of the time. And I have a desire to grow and step into myself more and more and more. And this life means so much to me. And I know that it's not just this. So my actions and my integrity mean so much. I need to know my truths, and we all know where we're messing up. We all know where we're bending things to be in our favor. And that being said, I can't be the person to point and write people off very quickly. Like, it takes a lot for me to really want to not be associated with someone. And so I've always had a really forgiving heart, because I know to get here, I've required a lot of forgiveness myself. So we sorted our stuff out. You know, I had mentioned to him that, you know, it did kind of suck that he had never had me on his channel. And it's just really funny that we didn't end up collabing until it was in his favor. So he was popping off online about exposing the beauty community and doing a docu-series. And I was like, no. How entitled.
Oh, here we go. And then she shifts position. But do you guys remember, was it the end of Dramageddon 1 where Manny MUA was trying to say that he was going to come out with this big docu-series on the beauty industry and then never did? And then James Charles is coming out with the same thing, but this is it. This is the section of the video that is so, like, this is where the quotes are. Get those mental quote cards ready, because she's shifted position. And she's saying, how entitled
do you have to be to think that you have it rough? You are a 19-year-old millionaire. You do not get to wake up and, you know, stress out about how unfair your job is. Like, that's just so ridiculous to me. So
I agree. But again, this was the origins of us discovering just what a narcissist he was. And yeah, the No More Lies video kind of debunked some of what she was saying, but I still believe that she was right for this video. I still believe that, 100%. And, you know, it's just funny that is one of the quotes. Again, it was a minor quote. It's not one that people say a lot, but it's a minor quote.
After hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of talk, he arrived at the decision to not do it. I was like, it's going to be like the downfall of your career. Don't do it. Like, don't expose the community, because you're part of the community. Like, do you think you're better than everyone? Because you're not. True. I think something that I'm really, really big on is respect. And it was,
you know, one thing I will say, and again, I'm sorry for the pause face, girl. But like, one thing I will say, do you guys remember? It was the palette series, wasn't it, with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, where Morgan, Shane's sister-in-law, had come back from that brand trip and she was feeling really bad about her body, and they did that kind of thing where they were like, oh, all these influencers are actually like really bitchy and like they're constantly like talking about plastic surgery. I remember specifically she goes, RCL Beauty, the Beverly Hills brat. Do you guys remember this? That quote's like stuck in my head as much as the ones from this video are for some reason. But like, you know, like they would be allowed to get away with that, but like, and I feel like Jeffree Star would be allowed to get away with that because he's so like above everything. At least he thinks that he is. But again, like money wise, he is such a mogul. Like I just genuinely believe that he would be able to get away with doing that. But James Charles, no, I agree that if he'd done this at this stage in his career, it would have been a terrible decision. So she was right to advise him against that.
It was really hard to see the way he was treating Marlena from Makeup Geek. Like, I did not like that. I
remember this vaguely, but yeah, like Marlena was getting like such abuse. Who remembers Makeup Geek? Makeup Geek was such a fun brand, wasn't it? I miss Makeup Geek. Not that I ever had any of their makeup. I was poor as hell, but you know, like it was such one of those like, really fun brands that just closed down, and it was really tragic.
Don't think that it's cool to publicly shame a woman who paved the way. Get off your high horse and have some respect. Yes. You don't have any for the people who are in this industry longer than you, and that's the sad fact. I think one of the biggest reasons that I'm doing this video is because all of us are somehow forgetting that his audience is made up of 12 to 14-year-olds, like dominantly, and true. He is role modeling to them his behavior.
And still is to this day. That's why he still has an audience, because his audience is so young that the young people now were like babies when this stuff was going down. They have no idea, and they're not in that space to know. And, you know, those who maybe find out will maybe, like, move away from his community. But again, the age group has never changed. And I guess this is probably what he likes, especially if they're boys, right? But, you know, like, this hasn't changed. And this is why he still has an audience and is still able to make money. Maybe not as much as he was back then, but still makes money.
His behavior online is what they are seeing and what they are emulating as how they should behave. To be successful and adored by the masses. Everything is over-sexualized, and that's the huge underlayer to this all that I finally have had enough. The last phone conversation that James Charles and I had, he said some things telling me about a situation that happened in Seattle at my birthday, and it literally made me want to vomit. Oh my God, you tried to trick a straight man into thinking he's gay yet again, and somehow you're the victim. You know, it's really disgusting to manipulate someone's sexuality, especially when they are still, you know, emerging into adulthood and don't quite have everything figured out. You are using your fame, your power, your money to play with people's emotions. You're threatening to ruin them. You're threatening to embarrass them. And you're doing that to have them behave sexually in your favor, even if they're straight. And you know what? That's not okay. That behavior is not okay. Whether you're a woman, a man, gay, straight, bi, whatever sexual orientation you are, that is your personal call, and it is not someone else's to take. It's not someone else's to play with. It's not someone else's to mess with. And how dare you laugh about it and make meme after meme and retweet and this and that and I love straight boys, and make it a joke.
Yep.
Because this behavior is not normal, it's not okay. Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room. This is shit that will follow them would like to do. And like, I mean, like, I was just like, about sex and things.
Sorry, I was pausing it to go, cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room, but then I clicked ahead. I shouldn't have done that.
Cracking someone's sexuality is not an escape room. This is shit that will follow them for the rest of their lives. And you need someone to tell you to stop it. And that's exactly what I did in your kitchen in front of Gabriel Zamora. So I'm really shocked, Gabriel, that you really don't care about this at all and what is happening. You are totally complicit with the situation, obviously, with the video that you made. All right, I'm pissed.
So
I literally, eye to eye, had enough respect for you and love for you and care for you to tell you to go and get some help. I told you that this was not good and that you could have your career completely destroyed. His parents came to visit, they had dinner.
And then there was the bit about the parents. She's gone completely calm again after she's talked about that, which, you know, is fair enough. But yeah, like, this the irony that she's saying here, like, this stuff can get your career ruined. And we know, like, after this video, he lost like millions of followers overnight. It was insane. We all remember watching the clips of like the subscriber counts going down and down and down in like the way that they used to be able to do with the live trackers, you know what I mean? And, you know, the fact she's like, this could destroy your career overnight, and we thought that it would. We have had many moments since this video where we're like, this should be destroying him, but it never has. And again, because his audience remains so young and so unaware of what's going on, and again, see him as some kind of role model, and I blame TikTok. I blame TikTok.
Dinner over at my house, and they were lovely, and you guys loved meeting his parents. I was shocked that James even then was saying to his dad that every man is a little bit gay and that there's no such thing as a straight man. And, his dad's like, you're wrong, James, you're wrong. If someone who is very masculine and has been with women decides that they're bisexual, that they want to explore, that's fine.
Like Nate did, Jeffree Star's ex-boyfriend, we all know.
Be it, but again, it's just like, it's not yours to take. So talking about that at the dinner table with his parents was kind of weird. Him talking explicitly about sex and things that he would like to do, and I was just like, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, I am used to this around, everyone else, but not his parents. Like, I thought around his parents that he would not behave this way. Like, it was just like, no big deal. Like, sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my god.
Wait, I shouldn't have paused it there, because I've just realised what comes later. But sucking dick and cock, wait, we have to go back. We have to go back to do that full quote.
Way, like, it was just like, no big deal. Like, sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my god. Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. And I made excuses.
There it is. In quick to just, it's the flow of it. It's the flow of it. It's the way we're all... we're going to do that again. We're going to do that again. And we're all going to say it together. We're all going to say it together. We're all going to say it.
It was just like, no big deal. Like,
we're all going to say it together. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Like, sucking dick and cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my god. Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner. And I made excuses for you then. You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking gross. And you said that in...
I'm going to go back to that bit as well. We're gonna go right back to that bit as well.
Response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking gross. And you said that in front of my family, in front of my childhood friends. I had to call every one of them up the next morning and apologize on your behalf because it was so uncomfortable. And I've continued to do that, but it's just all kind of stacking up right now like this.
Sorry. I'm so glad we went through that together. I'm so glad we had this moment. I'm so glad I did this series, because that is so satisfying every time.
When James Charles's parents left my home, Christy, you grabbed my hand and you said, thank you for looking out for my boys, like, keep looking out for them. And I have, and like, I'm handing that back to you. Like, you need to not be on Instagram liking comments and sharing with people that you're disappointed that I'm upset. You need to be not on Instagram. You need to be here in LA because your boys need you. I do also want to tell you guys,
that part right there, I love that bit where she's calling out the parents. I'm like, yes, Tati, get that girl. Because she's completely correct in what she's saying. It was insane. It's insane the way his parents were, like, just defending his behaviour, thinking this was totally normal. And yeah, like, the way he was so comfortable talking about, like, sucking dick and cock. Like... It's funny, but because we know that we quote it, it's like a core part of internet lore, but like at the same time, when you truly deep it, even now, it's like, oh my god, time and place. But like really, if you're so comfortable talking about that for any parents, it's so weird. And like she was saying, he was saying to her dad, like, every man's a little bit gay, like no one's completely straight. And we know from that podcast he did with, what was it, Jake Paul, where he was like, yeah, like, I don't like older boys, like, literally admitting that he's only attracted to, like, younger boys. It's insane. He's sick and twisted.
Add insult to injury, the Sugar Bear hair thing, that was a blatant lie. Like, come on. You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra, handful of passes that cost thousands of dollars a piece, like, just in case. There's value there, and there's a value exchange.
That's the part, I think, in No More Lies where he kind of debunks that, but still, I mean, the point is there.
Like, Gabriel's correct about that. Brands know what they're doing, and that leads me to believe that this was orchestrated beforehand, but he had an emotional conflict because of me and promises he made to me behind the scenes. So he had to come up with a very clever story and didn't tell me right when he got back, but after the little bit was posted on their launch day. That part felt super, super shady to me, and it was so quickly, like, glazed over, and then it hopped back into, I've had the most stressful week of my life with boys. I have so much anxiety. And it's like, dude, like, oh my God, you saw me during my launch. You know what happened. You know about the coordinated event that happened. You were with me. You know what I went through to bring everything to life, the risk involved in going into a category that no one wants to get into because it's so hard and challenging. And it's not a palette. It's not something that people buy multiples of. People are not going to buy a hair vitamin from over here and one from over here because that would be too much for your system to handle. So when you pair up with my number one competitor, it's embarrassing to me. Is it going to crush my business? No. But it's embarrassing. And
I agree. And this is why she was, again, I'm sorry for the poor faces have been a bit insane. I'm sorry, girl. But, like, I agree. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing when he's been... But again, like, he's such a raging narcissist that of course he was going to do this. Of course he did this. To me, like, especially now with everything that we know, like, 7 years later, with everything that's happened, like, I feel like every single year we've had something. And it's all been the same kind of stuff, talking to underage boys and all that stuff. But, like, it was embarrassing what he did with Sugar Bear Hair, and the way that she came out and was like, you know what, I'm just going to expose him. Again, I stand behind this video. I think she was right to do this, no matter who prompted her to make this video. Like, it truly was the origins of something that we needed to know about and have continued to talk about all the time since. It's completely valid. And I agree, like, the way she's literally like, it's not going to crush my business, but it's embarrassing because of the way that I supported you so much. Yeah, valid, 100%. That is the truth all day long.
You know that because of things I've had to deal with in the past. And if you don't have my back, at least have your subscribers back, dude. Like, are you kidding me? You say you don't like this brand at all, and that it would be embarrassing. So, like, stick with that. Like, stick to what you speak, practice what you preach. You say that you're the realist, you can't be bought. Well, you just were. I don't think you were in a dangerous situation.
That right there. I can't be bought. Yeah, you literally just were, though. I agree. She ate the song.
Really don't. You know fair well how crowds are, so if you did think there was going to be a dangerous situation, I think you would have brought your own security. You have the millions and millions and millions in your account to do that because you are the first person to overshare your finances with everybody. I tell you guys, like, I can't be bought in any situation. I would have left. A lot of people are like, what was he supposed to do? It's dangerous. It's like, leave, go home. It's a couple days of your life. It'll happen again next year. Bring security next time. Have some loyalty to that fan base who has put all that money into your bank account.
But as we know, with James Charles, Coachella has been such a staple in kind of his content every year because of his outrageous outfits and outrageous behavior. Like, we literally covered when we covered the Trisha Paytas podcast about Coachella this year, that he didn't even tip, like, the people, like, the girls making, like, his food and stuff. Like, they were making the nachos for him. They didn't even tip him. And he, like, showed that he didn't tip. Like, it's his behavior every single year at Coachella has been insane. And he banks on that, especially now because, you know, his content's kind of bombed a little bit, even though he does obviously still get kind of the views, but, you know, he's still like a big creator for some reason. Well, obviously we know because of his young audience. But, you know, Coachella is the one thing that he knows he can get so much content out of, and every single year it's a scandal.
Instead of lying to them, because you say you don't like the brand, you, I'm sure, hadn't tried the product for more than a week because they offered you that deal on the spot at Coachella, and 9 days later you had the story. So you hadn't even tried it for a full month. Do better research. Melatonin over time, not great for you. Look into the formula before you promote it, which I also thought was really strange, because the reason that James always said that he couldn't promote Halo on his channel and really do, like, you know, heavy endorsement was because he has a teenage audience and it would just be inappropriate. You sold out me, but you threw away our friendship, but you lied to me, made up a story. You knew this would be embarrassing for me. No, our relationship is not transactional. I have never asked you for anything in return. You should have walked away. You should have held on to your integrity. You're a phony. Yeah. I know that now. Yeah. I know that you're easily bought, that a good time is more important to you than your integrity. Mm-hmm. And if everybody's like, oh, come on, a 10-second ad, it means nothing. If it meant nothing, they would have just said, have the security and safety. Don't worry about us. But no, there was a negotiation and a I do this and you do that, because there's value there. So when you think about the millions that he has on Instagram, that swipe up, that call to action, him saying that he's had anxiety and this has helped him sleep, which no, he didn't say it was an anxiety pill, but I think alluding to that to children with a vitamin that looks like a gummy bear that tastes like candy, like, my mind is freaking blown, you guys, because I don't think marketing sleep pills to children is like a good idea.
True. Literally true. Like, I completely forgot about this point that she made in the video, but yeah, like, he was like, oh, I have a teenage audience, so I can't really be promoting supplements, and yet is literally promoting, like, sleep supplement. Is insane to me. Again, I fully agree. I think she ate with this video. Despite the normalized video, despite everything that happened, she ate with this video. She looks stunning. I'm mesmerized by her skin right now, the entire video. Always, like, in every clip I see of this, I'm like, oh my god, your skin's so pretty. But she ate with this, and she ate with this point.
I would never do that ever in a million years. Bad role modeling. I really believe that as we evolve, whether it's cosmetics, technology, nutraceuticals, you know, everybody's always going to try and improve what once was. So for me with Halo, what I am really trying to do is improve something that already existed, yes. I wanted to dial in a formula that would work. I've never sent out PR. I've never bought an ad. I don't do that, A, because I don't want to. My product is good enough on its own, and we're selling like hotcakes. Like, I don't need to.
That's one thing I will say, and I said this in my video where we covered her, like, AI bloody marketing and packaging for the Go-Go Juice thing. And some people in the comments of that video thought that, oh, maybe this is James's product actually, and she's just marketing for it, which, okay, fair enough, that could be the case. But Halo was so much more polished and so much better, and was so much more of a successful product that she believed in wholeheartedly. And you always got that from when she would talk about the content and, like, the product, and through her content. And the way it was selling and everything, and everyone said that it was really good and it really, really worked and it was a really good product. So, you know, I believe her on this.
At this point, as we grow, maybe I will, but that's not where my spend is. Like, I'm not going to put $100,000 into an Instagram post for someone to jam a pill in their mouth and smile that probably isn't taking it. I'd rather put that $100,000 into research and creating a really dope product that people really love, and that's why they come back for more. So that's my standard when it comes to building my business and my brand.
And she didn't stutter. That's, again, she's so articulate with this video. It's so good.
And that's my thought process when I'm creating products. I want them to work. I don't want to trick you guys. And I just think that swipe up with a tracking code and hashtag ad that had to stay up for 24 hours, by the way, I think that was planned out. And I'm not good with that. Like, you threw me under the bus. You knew how much it would hurt. I told you, like, I texted you, hey, I'll give you a sponsorship if you want one. Like, don't do this, it will hurt me. And you kept it up for 24 hours. Of course I didn't want to call you back. But then you go and post an apology and you can't even mention my brand name. Like, I'm not an idiot. I know what contracts look like. I know what the exclusivities look like. And it just smelled rotten to me. And it just was the timing of it all, off the heels of me finding out about ways that you've been behaving that I don't agree with, for you to lie to me and make me the villain and go around and circulate a story to work on your side, saying that I'm loving the drama because it's improving sales. That's not the case. You're my family. I love you still. This is not about money. At all. Like, at all. I feel like I've said my piece. I don't know what's going to happen next, to be honest. You know, I'm scared. But if I didn't make this video and I didn't say things publicly, I think that I would be feeling worse. You don't get to the success that James Charles has without knowing how to work someone, and I don't want to be worked. I don't want to be manipulated. And I tried everything that I could, but I don't matter to him right now. I'm only a piece in his game, and everything's a game, and I'm tapping out.
Not the hair fondle at the end. She looked gorgeous in this video, truly.
It's just all feeling like really intense, and like I wish you guys could like be inside of my head and understand like really, truly like what YouTube means to me and why I need this, like why I need me and you, and why I need to do things the way that I do. I have forced myself to go with my intuition and to like really, really try to do the right thing and to be a good person. And I know I'm a role model, and that matters to me, and that has gravity to me. And I like that. And I want to make a difference. And let me also share that when I do reach the level of success that I hope to with Halo, I'm going to make a lot of positive changes. I have huge plans.
Oh, like when she did this bit where she talks about Halo, because obviously we know what happened with the lawsuit and everything, and it's just like so like, because I do believe that brand could have been huge. Same with Tati Beauty, that could have been massive. That palette that she came out with, I'm still jealous that I didn't get it at the time, because that would have been incredible. And everyone said it was like such a beautiful, beautiful palette. But of course, obviously with what happened with her business partner, it's so, so tragic. What happened with Halo Beauty as well. So that when she's talking about this, you know, you can tell the passion that she has for these projects, and it's bittersweet for sure. Also, I've just noticed she also has the concealers in the back. Do you guys remember when those got, like, the unit of that got stolen? That was such a big part of the Shane Dawson series. That's probably like my favorite episode of the series that he did, was when that got stolen. It was so like dramatically edited. It was so gripping. I loved it.
Plans for what I want to do to give back, and I have a very huge why. Like, I know why I'm here. I know my mission. It is not all about me. And that's why, you know, when people get close to me, I am very willing to help. This is all just kind of blown up, and I never thought it would be like this way so fast. It just like things just happened really, really fast in sequence. I felt the pressure to make this video. I could have just never talked.
She felt the pressure from Shane Dawson to Jeffree Star. And sometimes with the way that she talks about like the urge to make this video and stuff, it's actually kind of quite clear that she was getting external pressure from those people. You know, do I necessarily think that everything that they said was completely, like everything she said in that video like she came out with was completely true? Maybe not. But I do believe that, yeah, they were probably pressuring her behind the scenes. I do believe that Jeffree Star does have some things on James Charles. He just never came out with them for whatever reason. Like, I do believe that the voice notes and everything do exist, because Blair White has listened to them, like, and I trust Blair White. We've talked about that before on my channel, but like, I believe that she was being pressured behind the scenes, and it's interesting that she literally just chose the word "I felt the pressure" to make this video.
Talk to James again, which was an option I had in my mind because I just didn't want to give him anything to work with. Like, you guys have to understand, like, I'm freaking afraid of him. Like, he's 19 and I'm afraid of him. Like, that's messed up. I'm really sad to see things end this way, and I hope that things change. I really, really do. I didn't feel safe talking about any of this privately because I know that it would get twisted and used against me somehow, so I had to do it this way. I've seen too much happen behind closed doors where things get twisted, manipulated, and
from Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson.
I'm not going to let that happen to me. And if I fall apart because people don't like what I have to say or that I said it loud here on my channel, I guess that's on me, and this is my choice, because I've always been a person that wanted to not let fear control me. That's been an issue of mine in the past. And I want for anybody out there that is letting fear and power and someone else telling you how to feel because there will be a consequence, don't let that fear eat you up. You are free to be who you want to be. You're free to speak up if something's not feeling okay. And if you ever need to defend your character, go for it. And I hope at minimum I'm an example of that. I want to let you guys know I don't hate James Charles. Like, I think I'll always love him. I think I will always care about him.
Even though at the beginning of this video she's like, I don't want to be friends with him, I don't want to be associated with him, and then all the passion when she was talking about sucking dick and cock, you didn't at my birthday dinner. And yeah, she's like, I don't hate him, you know, I still have love for him, that kind of thing. I mean, I think that's quite noble of her in a way, you know, because she was such a mentor to him. And, you know, with everything, it's funny actually, if I can scroll down, like, look at this video from Nick Schneider. You can't really see it, but it does say that, like, yet another victim has come forward, so I'll probably watch that video after at some point, either today or tomorrow, and I'll probably make a video on that as well, we'll see. But it's funny, ironically, that, you know, again, this video was 7 years ago. This is a re-upload, obviously, that was uploaded in 2020, with almost a year after the original video. But yeah, it was the 10th of May 2019 where this video was uploaded, and we're still talking about him, the same stuff 7 years later. And again, this has been a continual issue. And again, I think she was very noble for this video and very right to make this video. I'm not necessarily saying brave, because, you know, we know that she was being pressured behind the scenes, but like, it is important to acknowledge that this video was the start of it all, despite, you know, some of the things being debunked, I guess, with the No More Lies video. But without this video, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't be on James Charles' ass the way that we are today. So this was such an important video.
I think I have that pull more so for the person I first met a couple of years ago than the person he's become, because I'm just not on board with how this is all evolving and how emotionless he's become. I don't want my career that I've built for 8 years to go down the toilet because of this. Like, and I'm sitting here going, God, I hope not, you know? He knows a lot of my business detail. He knows a lot of what's around the corner for me and my brand. I've been very open with him. And, you know, he could completely try to retaliate and do weird things. And I guess I have to kind of be prepared for that. But it is what it is. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep filming because I love what I do. And that's what matters the most to me. I want to create great content that makes you guys escape this nasty world. I want to share with you my life and the good parts of me and show you that no matter who you are, you can make it. You know, I had freaking nothing, like nothing when I started out. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a camera. I had no job. I just like struggle, and crippling depression, and anxiety to the point where you can't leave the house. I really had the cards stacked against me from so many different areas. And I know that people have it worse than me, like even back then. But I just want to let you guys know, if you have a passion and you're good like that passion, you know you're good, you know you got it. Like, work on it, move forward, work hard, and you can do anything. And I've always wanted to be that visible thing right here that you can make it. But also I wanted to share with women, and this is for the ladies. Like, I'm cool with men in makeup, love men in makeup, but this is for the women. I'm in my 30s. I'm in a beauty industry, and I'm in front of the camera, not behind it, and that matters. And brands want to work with me, and I'm not 25, and that's progress, and that matters. So I'm here for
Yeah, and I think that's why she was so successful as well, because she was a bit older and she is such a mogul. And I mean, like I said in one of my previous videos, well, it was the one where we talked about the go-go juice thing that she's come out with. Like, I'm still a fan of her. Her recommendations are really solid, always have been and probably always will be, and that's just the tea. And I think that point that she just made there is really important.
many reasons, and it is not just money. So you guys are first. I am you. I am here because of you, and that will always hold true. So I'm so sorry that this video had to be made. I'm going to do what I can to get back to business as usual, and I'm going to put my phone down as much as I can. I'm going to put the noise down as much as I can and try to get back to normal as soon as possible with just regular content. And I ask you guys, please, as I continue to post regular content, trying makeup and escaping the world and like giving you guys an escape from the world, please help me to do the same. I don't need the comment section to be flooded with everything to do with this mess. I've said my piece. I'm moving forward. It is painful.
Oh, how ironic this is.
To lose someone that you care about, that you thought would be in your life forever. But the chapter's closed, and I felt you guys deserved the truth and for your questions to be answered, because I know there's been so much confusion. And that's where I'm going to end this video. Please know you mean the world to me, and I'm eternally grateful to you guys, and I'll find ways to give back more to you, because like without you I don't have anything, and you matter. So thank you again and again, and I guess that's it. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for hearing me out and being here with me, and for watching and supporting. All right, I love you guys.
And just not even like a normal intro, just thanks for watching. Okay, we made it. We did the damn thing. We reacted to My Sister 7 years later. I'm very dark for some reason. The sun keeps going in and out. Let me up my brightness just a tad, because this is very important what we have to say. Because yeah, that was the origins of where we are now in terms of the James Charles drama. And it's funny that at the end of that video she was like, please let me move on from this, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And it's like, oh, you sweet summer child, how oh dear. And yeah, like I can appreciate her being like, hey, I want to get back to normal content, let's not talk about this anymore. But there's also an element of me that's like, girl, did you really think that was gonna be it? Did you really think that was it, really? Because obviously that was not it. That was not the end of it. That was just the beginning, in a way. And we will cover a lot of that on this channel, actually. I want to do, bits of drama again, and like I said, we were going to do like a deep dive. That's the point of this series. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. Also, make sure to follow me on all my social media. Names for which will be, as always, at the end of this video. Especially my Instagram. My Instagram is a very fun time over there. We have a whole bunch of shenanigans, and I share a lot of like more of the fashion and makeup content side of things as well. I'm going to try and get back into that, because I know I've been slacking a little bit recently because I've been so focused on the massive success of my channel recently, which has been very exciting. But yeah, again, let me know where you were in 2019 when this video came out. Let me know all of your thoughts about revisiting this video 7 years later. Were you saying the quotes with me? I hope you were. I hope you were. You were waiting for that moment. I know I was. And yeah, we'll have a good old discussion down in the comments. I always respond to all of my comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. How you did it at my birthday dinner? Time and place.